So this is part 2 of errors. So kindly, if you didn't watch video 1, first go and watch part 1 about errors before you come to part 2. So earlier we looked at the types of errors and we said there are 2 errors that affect the argument of a trial balance and errors that do not affect the argument of a trial balance. So in this session we are looking at errors that do not affect the agreement of a trial balance. Errors that do not affect the agreement of a trial balance. This is the second category of errors. Errors that do not affect the agreement of a trial balance. So what are these errors? These are errors that cannot be revealed by a trial balance. One, they cannot be revealed. So the trial balance will not reveal these errors. So cannot be revealed by trial balance. 2, even when you commit these errors, the debit side of a trial balance will equal to the credit side of a trial. Your debit side will be okay, very well, but when you have errors, assuming this is the trial balance, debit, credit, then details, you will have the same amount, 10,000, 10, but in actual sense there are some errors inside. I'm repeating, these are errors that cannot be revealed by trial balance. Why? It will show that it is balancing, yet you committed an error somewhere. So, and there are around 7 categories. There are around 7 to 8 categories of these errors. And the first one, errors that cannot be revealed by trial balance, we have an error of omission. Even on the other side, we had an error of omission, but I want you to differentiate the two. The other side, I said errors that affect the agreement. Under errors that affect the agreement of a trial balance, I said you forget to write the transaction in one of the accounts. You write in one account, then you forget where the transaction in another account. But now in this omission, other errors that do not affect the agreement of a trial balance or that cannot be revealed by a trial balance. Error of omission simply means this error of omission occurs when a transaction has been completely left out. You completely leave out a transaction in the books of accounts. Books of accounts. A transaction has been completely left out. You completely leave it out. You don't even tamper with it. For example, you may look at cash purchases of 10,000. As you are reading, you forget. Meaning, you not debit at the same time not credit. So our trial balance will agree because I've left out that account from the original books of entry. The keyword from the original books of entry. You've not debited, you've not credited. But the other side, you debit once, maybe you fail to credit or credit and fail to do what? To debit. So this is an error of omission. The second error is error of commission. Error of commission. Error of commission. What is error of commission? This occurs when an accountant records post a transaction in a wrong person's account, but on the right side. The right transaction is made on the right side, but in a wrong person's account. For example, cash payments to Jane were posted to John. You were paying some cash to Jane, meaning the true transaction, this would have been cash and this is Jane's account. You are supposed to credit Jane cash payments of maybe shilling 15,000 to Jane. You are supposed to paste cash to credit cash with Jane 15,000, and here debit Jane with cash 15,000. But you end up writing this, instead of writing in Jane's account, you write in John's account. Preferably because the names are similar to each other. So then you've committed an error of commission. You've done the right thing but in the wrong person's account. So this is an error of commission, posting a transaction in a wrong person's account. So then another error we have is error of principal. Another error we are looking at here is saying a wrong person's account. Then, but for this scenario is a wrong class of account. You post a transaction in wrong class of account. An example, posting a transaction in wrong class of account. An example is repairs and maintenance. Repairs and maintenance of shilling 20,000 were recorded in the machinery account. Repairs and maintenance of shilling 20,000 were recorded in the machinery account. We know very well that repairs and maintenance are expenses are supposed to be debited. But for you, Anna, what you do, you instead debit the machine account. So they are all debited, but instead of repairs and maintenance, instead of posting this transaction in repairs and maintenance account of machinery, you ended up posting it in a machinery account. So that is an error of principle in a wrong class of account. You posted it in a wrong class of account. Then another thing is error of original entry. Error of original entry. This involves entering a wrong amount in the original books of accounts. You enter a wrong amount in the original books of account. How does this occur? If I use this example, cash purchases of 15,000. You made a business made a cash purchase of 15,000. For you record cash purchase of 20,000. What does this imply? You are going to go ahead and debit this 20,000 with on the purchases side, and at the same time credit the 20,000 instead of 15. An example, you made a cash purchase of 15,000, but in the books you wrote that cash purchase of 20,000. So you debit 20 at the same time credit 20. So that error. Then another error is error of complete. This is the third one. This is the fourth one. The fifth one is error of complete reversal entry. Complete reversal entry, it means you debit what you are supposed to credit and credit what you are supposed to be debit. That's the meaning of complete reversal entry. Debit what you are supposed to credit, and for example, still cash purchases of 20,000, you know very well you are supposed to debit it to credit the cash because cash is going away of 15,000. And you are supposed to debit purchases with cash with purchases. You are supposed to debit purchases with cash of 15,000. But this error of once you commit an error of complete reversal entry, instead of debiting the cash, you credit. Instead of crediting cash, you debit. And this side you debit what is supposed to be credited, and at the same time you credit what is supposed to be debited. That's an error of complete reversal entry. Then another we can look at an error of transposition. Error of transposition. We also have this error on the other side. But this one, you make an error in the original books of entry. You interchange the figures. Cash purchase of 15,000, for you an accountant writes cash purchase of 51,000. I think that this amount you made of 51,000 is the same amount you are going to debit at the same time you are going to credit. So meaning you made an error of transposition whereby you interchanged the figures. The last error we are looking at is error of compensation. Error of compensation. So here, this scenario occurs when two more errors cancel out themselves. You make an error somewhere, you make another error somewhere else, so they end up cancelling themselves. So these are mainly the errors that do not affect the agreement of the trial balance. One, I said error of commission. Error of commission, you completely leave out the transaction, commission, person's account, principal, wrong class of account, original entry, you enter the wrong amount in the original books, and complete reversal entry, you debit what you were supposed to credit, and after at the same time you credit what's supposed to be what to debit, and transposition, interchanging of figures, 21 you write 12, and compensation, two errors cancel out themselves. Otherwise, this is session 2 of errors. Langton Academic Solution. For more information, this is my contact in case you need more and more inquiry about where it's not clear. Then don't forget to subscribe Langton Academic Solution International for all more videos. In another video, we are going to look at now the practical part of it. In our video, and I think it will be our last video about errors, we are going to look more on the practical part of it. So, bye bye. May God bless.